Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful week so far. So I'm a little bit late in doing this video. I just worked out for the first time since in my illness recovery. It actually went pretty well. The only thing I noticed is that, and this honestly can be said about a lot of illnesses too, it's like when I was in down dog and like my head was like upside down, I was like, whoa, I feel really dizzy right now. But other than that, it's been pretty good. So I have no makeup on, my hair is dirty. I don't usually do that, but it feels like really free, to be honest. Okay. So what's going on this week? We just had the full moon in Cancer. Did you guys have really weird dreams last night? Because I did. I was dreaming about, like, I had all these people in my life, but they weren't the people that are in my life now. So they were like people that my mind made up, and they were all like abandoning me and just like forgetting about me. It was really sad. And Justin also had weird dreams, and then I was seeing some of you guys saying in the Discord that you were also having strange dreams. So I mean, there was an aspect to Neptune. Neptune was conjunct Pallas Athene. So it was really interesting for sure. So today we're going to talk about Uranus, because Uranus is stationing direct, and Aquarius season actually begins tomorrow night. So yes, let's talk about that. I pulled a couple cards here just to kind of get a feel for Aquarius season and Uranus going direct. It feels good to have all these planets direct. So I'm going to share my screen. And when we talk about Uranus and of course the sun moving into Aquarius as well, see where that is at in your own chart. So, okay. So right now, Uranus is at 10 degrees of Taurus. So where is 10 degrees of Taurus in your chart? That's probably where you've been dealing with a lot of changes, but you'll especially feel that very like exciting, eccentric, disruptive Uranian kind of energy right now. So the S stands for stationary. So it is stationary right now. And tomorrow, when Aquarius season begins, I just think it's really interesting that Aquarius season is starting and Uranus is going direct, like right at the same time, because Uranus co-rules Aquarius. So it's Uranus and Saturn ruling Aquarius. So we'll talk about that too, because that's such a weird, strange combination. Uranus and Saturn together ruling a sign, but Aquarius is a weird and strange sign. They're just very different. They're very alien-like. I always think of like, honestly, like a robot. Like they're very robot-like in a way, because they can be very methodical and cold in a way, because you know Uranus and Saturn are not exactly like lovey-dovey planets, but at the same time it's interesting because they're so good at communicating and making friends. Like the 11th house is literally the house of friends. Okay, so let's talk about Uranus first. This is today. It is the 18th. So today it is Tuesday. We have a little bit of a full moon hangover probably. I can never sleep on the full moon. I just can't. All right, so Uranus is going direct. So what is Uranus? Uranus is the rebel. Uranus is the disruptor, the revolutionary. Uranus is that very necessary life-giving kind of energy, breathing new life into a dying paradigm, for example. So Uranus is that newness that we need in order to keep on surviving, basically. So Uranus can be like science and also maybe like technology a little bit. I know that's usually like a mercurial thing, technology, but I see it as more of like invention. So like inventing new technologies. It's the future. So while Saturn is the past, Uranus is the future for sure. So Uranus is all about clearing the way, and it can be a very tower-like moment. So the Tower Tarot card, Rick Levine would say that the Tower was kind of like Uranus and Mars combined. And I just kind of see that like that lightning strike as being very Uranian, because it's like sudden flashes of inspiration. It almost makes me think of like eclipses a little bit, how you get like flashes of realizations. It's kind of like that, like having like a revelation, having an aha moment, having your mind open to new possibilities, new perspectives, just like seeing things in a fresh new way. So it's really a great planet. It can make everyone feel a little bit nervous sometimes. It's very exciting. So excitement can be good or bad, you know, pleasant or unpleasant. Um, it makes me think of like the solar storm cycles. In one of Stephen Forrest's book, he talks about the solar storm cycles and how I can't think of the scientist's name, but there have been scientists who have studied these, it's called the sunspot cycle of the sun, basically tracking the storm cycles. And there's like an increase and a decrease. So it's kind of like a wave. And every time there's an increase, there's like a lot of excitement in the world and society. So it could be like civil unrest. It could be just a very like tense kind of energy. And I believe we are in the increase right now, which you can totally feel because like everyone's very excited. There's been a lot of like civil unrest issues. There's been a lot of fighting and a lot of excitement, but it's not always bad too, because the summer of love was also an increase in the sunspot cycle. So like that was very exciting. I don't know because I wasn't there, but it sounds like it was a very exciting time. People still talk about it, you know. So it can also be exciting and like, I'm thinking of like for the United States when there was just a lot. I'm thinking of what is that? Hamilton, that Hamilton musical, because like when we were about to go into the American Revolution, there was a lot of excitement, like people are talking, like all these ideas are getting spread around and like, oh, what's going to happen? Where are we going to be? So it can be kind of exciting like that too. Or it could be like, you know, protests and, you know, just a lot of like clashing in society and stuff like that. But it's very personal too, especially when it comes to Taurus, because Taurus is your values. Taurus is those very safe, comfortable, nice things that you enjoy. So could be good food or like soft blankets, like cashmere blankets or nice clothes, or just enjoying time with your family and your loved ones, or really whatever is important to you. Like that's what Taurus is about. So Uranus and Taurus is shaking all that stuff up, like your values, like all of our values have been shifting. It's almost like they have to, because like everything that's just been going on the last couple of years, like they almost have to, or we're just being realigned and like realizing what those values actually are. So it's very personal. Look at where 10 degrees of Taurus is in your chart, and that's kind of like where those changes are happening right now. So it's super important and uncomfortable. I've used this example a million times before, but Uranus and Taurus is like ripping the plant out of the ground, shaking off the roots, and then planting it somewhere else, which is interesting because I've talked to one of you, I won't say who, but who moved, and that was kind of like their experience too, of like that very shocking kind of experience before they moved like across the country. So it could be like a physical move, or you know, it could really be anything. So just look at where it is in your chart. I'm trying to think of where it is in mine. I believe that's in my 6th house of work, which I've had a lot of changes in work. Like ever since Uranus moved into Taurus, I've had a lot of like different jobs before I found like my thing. Like this is my thing. But it took me like a whole like whirlwind of things to happen before I got to that point of trying to figure out how I want to serve others, which is the 6th house, right? Okay, so that's enough about that. This is in Central Time also. So the next day we have Aquarius season. So as you can see, the sun is at 28 degrees of Capricorn. And as you know, when we're in those last degrees of any zodiac sign, there's that feeling of like desperation. That planet or point really wants to get out the final energy and lessons of that sign. So right now we're feeling like very Capricorn. Like we gotta get to work, you know, we gotta buckle up and like get up that mountain and stuff. I'm officially out of my Saturn return, by the way. I don't want to talk about myself, but I am very excited about that. Yeah, so I think honestly, this Aquarius season, it's always welcome. Like this time of the year is always just so weird. It kind of starts feeling a little bit stuck to me, I think, at that 29 degrees of Capricorn. It just starts feeling a little bit too mundane, you know? So once we get to Aquarius season, 0 degrees of Aquarius, let's see what time that actually happens. Yeah, it'll be at night. So did the thing again. Okay. And set it to 0 degrees. All right. So 0 degrees, 0 minutes of Aquarius at about 8:51 p.m. Chicagoland time. So Central time. Yes, Aquarius is a totally different energy. So while Capricorn is like maintaining the old and maintaining like what is right now, the past, traditions, rules, structures, Aquarius, see, the thing about Aquarius, the thing is, I'm just gonna get out of this so I can talk. Okay. So the thing about, my hair is so deep right now, oh my gosh. So the thing about Aquarius is that they also have rules and structures and regulations, but they're very rebellious. But it's not that different, you know? And I think that's really funny too about Aquarius people, because they think they're like very revolutionary and rebellious, which they can be, but they're so set because they're a fixed sign. They're so stuck in that whatever that revolutionary opinion is, that they fail to see things any other way. Sometimes they can be very open-minded, but there's like certain things for every Aquarius person that they will not budge on, their thoughts. Maybe not belief systems like in a Sagittarius way, but it's just like the way that they think about things. It's very brilliant though. Like their minds are very brilliant. They are scientists, they are inventors, they are very good at like thinking about things in a new way, like Uranus. So like they have Uranus and Saturn. So they learn the structure, they learn the rules, the traditions, that they know how to break it when they go Uranus. So Aquarius is interesting. Like they're here, they are the water bearers. So they're feeding life to the community. They are literally just like bringing the water to the community, giving them life, making everything refreshing and new and interesting and exciting. Like thank God for Aquarians, because I don't know what we'd do if we were stuck in Capricorn society. I'm so sorry. But like we need both of them, you know, like we need the structure and the rules and the traditions, but we also need to like let go of them, because if we don't, it's going to crumble anyway. And then what do we do? You know, Aquarius is there to kind of rein in the new era. It's not the age of Aquarius. We are in transition also. I think it's like another 150 years or something before the age of Aquarius actually would begin, but it's kind of all very confusing too about like when that actually ends and begins. It is not right now. Just saying. Okay. So that's the funny thing about Aquarius, the great paradox of Aquarius. Like they don't think like anyone else. Like just have a conversation with an Aquarius person and like you will have your mind blown, because they think about things in a totally different and unique way. They're very friendly. They're very easy to get along with. They can talk to anybody, and they're just so detached, like emotionally detached and cooled off. It's not to say that they don't have emotions, but they're just so like, they can put space in between themselves and something else. And that's the opposite of Leo, where Leo makes everything very personal and they create things from their heart center, and they're kind of like putting it out into the world, as in like, this is my art, this is my making. But Aquarius is more so like, let's all be equal, let's all be one, let's be a community, let's be a hippie commune and treat everyone equally. So still be unique individual, but it's almost like that's where the Saturn kind of gets like twisted in there too, where it's like we have to be liberal, you know, with Aquarius, or like we have to be accepting of everyone, which can be good, but it can also go to like to the extreme too. So look at your chart. Where is Aquarius? Where will this be happening for you? This is happening in my 3rd house. It will go over my Saturn eventually. I'm just trying to think back, because like if you have planets in Aquarius, like every single year you're going to have the sun going over that point. So what is that like? You know, what is this time of the year like for you? Okay, what else? So there's really nothing else happening for the rest of the week. So next Sunday, the sun will conjunct Mercury. We have the sun and Mercury doing this little dance as always. Mercury in Aquarius, but that's really the main things. So there's a lot at the beginning of the week, and then we have kind of the rest of the week to integrate that and decide what we actually want to do with that. The moon will be in Virgo starting on Thursday and then going all the way until Saturday. So clean your house, clean your oven, do that detail oriented kind of stuff that you don't want to do, because you'll totally have the inspiration and the energy to do it, hopefully. With this Uranus energy, take care of your nervous system, okay? Because Aquarius rules the nervous system. We could be feeling a little bit too excited. So just remember to ground that energy. It's kind of cold to put your feet in the earth in the northern hemisphere here, but work with your root chakra. I have a root chakra bowl I like to play. You know, maybe grounding oils or grounding foods like that grow in the actual dirt. Like I love sweet potatoes and things like that. So, okay, so let me know how you guys are feeling. I know things are a little bit weird right now. Uranus is a little bit weird though. So allow those changes to happen. They will be happening for sure. It's almost like they're happening so fast that I can't really like grasp onto like what's actually happening. Does that make sense? Like it's like lightning, like a literal lightning storm, like going across the sky. It's like I know these things are happening, but I honestly, it's happening so fast I can't even like try to understand what exactly is going on right now. That could just be me though. Okay, I love you guys, and I will see you next Sunday.